Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. If we haven't met yet, my name is Ramiro Alvarez. I'm the Communications and Outreach Coordinator here at Pendergast School District. We're so glad that you're joining us. So glad that you took time out of your busy days to just be with us. Before we begin today's meeting, I just want to share a few tips for Zoom. Please remember to mute your mics and feel free to interact with our guest speakers here. Enter some questions and comments. We encourage that. Interact with our guests. We have two very special guests presenting today. We have Mr. Vincent Su. He's the Assistive Technology Coordinator here at the district. And we also have Mr. Larry Jones. He's a school counselor at Sonoran Sky Elementary. They will both be sharing very useful information and wonderful resources that are available to all our families in the community. Muy buenos días a todos. Gracias por acompañarnos el día de hoy. Si no hemos tenido el privilegio de conocernos, mi nombre es Ramiro Álvarez. Yo soy el coordinador de comunicaciones aquí en el distrito Pendergast. Es mi placer darles la bienvenida el día de hoy, esta mañana. Antes de comenzar, me gustaría compartir algunos consejos para Zoom. Recuerde de silenciar sus micrófonos y no dude en hacer preguntas e interactuar con nuestros invitados el día de hoy. Tenemos dos invitados muy especiales que estarán presentando esta mañana. El señor Vincent Su, coordinador de tecnología de asistencia de aquí del distrito Pendergast. Al igual el señor Larry Jones es el consejero escolar de la escuela Sonoran Sky. Ambos compartirán información muy útil y recursos maravillosos que están disponibles para nuestras familias. At this moment, I'd like to welcome Dr. Cruz, our Pendergast superintendent. She has a few words she'd like to share with us. En este momento me gustaría dar la bienvenida a la doctora Cruz. Ella tiene unas palabras que compartir con nosotros el día de hoy. And welcome, Dr. Cruz. Bienvenida, doctora Cruz.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ramiro, you're going to have to help me figure out when is a good point to break, okay?
Okay, I'll interrupt you. Muy buenos días a todos. Bienvenidos a nuestro evento el día de hoy.
So I want to thank you all again for making time today, and want to wish happy holidays. The winter season is certainly a time of celebration for lots of different holidays. I know that we started off with Diwali and Hanukkah, and we're in our house anxiously awaiting Christmas, and I know that some folks are going to be celebrating Kwanzaa, and I think we'll all enjoy and are looking forward to a new year. And so we're very hopeful and excited about the prospects of a new year, and just want to wish everyone happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. And I hope that it is a good time spent with family and friends and folks that you love.
Quiero darle la bienvenida a todos el día de hoy y agradecerles por acompañarnos. Sabemos que son unos tiempos muy ocupados estos días festivos. Quiero felicitarlos por los días festivos, ya sea si celebran la Navidad, el Año Nuevo, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa y Diwali también. Queremos darle las gracias y una vez más felicitarlos por todos esos días festivos, ya sea cualquier día festivo que ustedes festejen. Felicidades. Y nosotros celebramos Navidad y el Año Nuevo también, y les deseamos un feliz Año Nuevo a todos los que nos acompañan el día de hoy.
I want to thank also all of our hardworking staff members. This has been a challenging start to our school year, and without the hard work of all of our staff members, from our leaders and our teachers to our support staff members, we simply could not have had this amazing semester without you. So for all of our staff members, thank you so much for everything that you do. For all of our families and our students, thanks for being our partner as we've had quite an adventure this semester. So thanks to everyone who has made sure that we've had the opportunity to focus on our kids and on student learning We're really thankful for all of you, and I appreciate everything that you do.
Queremos darle las gracias a cada empleado que nos ayuda aquí en el distrito Pendergast. Sin ellos no pudiéramos hacer el trabajo que hacemos para nuestras familias, para nuestros estudiantes. También gracias a todos ustedes como padres. Gracias por el papel que juegan, por siempre estar involucrados en todo lo que hacemos. Gracias por siempre apoyarnos y gracias porque sin ustedes no pudiéramos hacer nuestro trabajo.
All right, so you're going to start to see, for those of you who are in our school-based sites, interactive display boards are going up. We're really excited about that. That's going to be an amazing update to our classrooms for all of our students and our staff members, again, that are school-based. You're also going to start to see some of our bond work begin again in the spring. So you'll see some security camera upgrades, some fire system upgrades. So we'll be doing some infrastructure work in the spring as a result of our previous bonds. So again, I just want to thank all the voters for your ongoing support of our work. And next, I want to make sure that we welcome our amazing governing board. I think that you all have seen that schools and school districts have really been in the news. We've been a central focus over the course of these last few months, and we have had a steady, smart leadership from our governing board, and I'm truly thankful for all of them. We couldn't do the work that we do without having such a phenomenal governing board. I believe that we have some governing board members here with us, so you'll have to excuse me a moment while I take a look through our Hollywood squares to make sure that we acknowledge our governing board members. Ms. Sarin, there you are. Would you like to welcome our community?
Sure. Thank you.
I apologize. I don't mean to cut you off. Let me just translate that part and then I'll switch it off to you. Van a estar viendo tecnología nueva, dice la doctora Cruz, que vamos a estar usando e implementando en nuestros salones y en las escuelas. Del dinero de los bonos anteriores todavía seguimos usando usando ese dinero para ayudar a nuestros maestros, a nuestros estudiantes y nuestras escuelas. Así que les agradecemos una vez más por su apoyo, por todo lo que hacen. En este momento también queremos darle la bienvenida a los miembros de la mesa directiva que nos acompañan el día de hoy. La señora Sue Sarin está con nosotros el día de hoy y le queremos dar un momento a ella que dé unas palabras para nosotros. Thank you, Ms. Sarin.
Thank you, Ramiro. Good morning, everyone. It's so great to see everyone, even if it's on Zoom. I love seeing your faces. I too want to thank all of our staff for the hard work they have done this year. I mean, coming back and being present in school wasn't easy. It really wasn't. And I want to thank you for all your hard work and giving your all for our students. I really, really appreciate it. And I do hope that over the holidays, you get to relax and recharge, because I think everybody needs that. To the parents and community, I want to thank you for your support. You've hung in there with us, and we truly couldn't do it without you. So thank you, everyone. And again, I hope you all have a happy holiday. And I truly hope that 2022 is a much better year. And for all of you, please have a happy holiday. Stay safe. Thanks.
Dice la señorita Sarin que muy bienvenidas el día de hoy. Gracias por acompañarnos. A ella le da mucho gusto y placer verlos aquí el día de hoy. Y también ella quiere agradecer a los maestros que siempre nos apoyan, a cada empleado del distrito por siempre estar haciendo su trabajo y ayudando a nuestros estudiantes, nuestras familias. Así que gracias a ellos. Sin ellos no pudiéramos continuar el trabajo excelente que hacemos para los estudiantes y la comunidad. Al igual, gracias a ustedes como padres por su apoyo una vez más. Gracias por siempre estar atentos a nuestras necesidades, por siempre estar atentos a sus estudiantes, a sus hijos también. Sin ustedes no pudiéramos hacer ese trabajo y los estudiantes tampoco tendrían el éxito que ellos experimentan también. Así que gracias a ustedes, gracias a todos y le da un placer a ella saludarles el día de hoy. Perfect. And Dr. Cruz, am I missing any other board members today? Is Ms. Saren the only one that we've got? I apologize.
I believe that Ms. Saren is our board member that is here today, but everyone has an opportunity to see all of our friends at the board meeting this evening. That will be on Facebook Live starting at 6 p.m. So we encourage you to watch our board meeting.
Perfect, perfect. La doctora Cruz dice que le gusta a ella verlos ustedes presentes en las juntas de la mesa directiva, así que vamos a estar pasando un tiempo ahora en la junta de la mesa directiva, así que nos pueden ver en Facebook si gusta hacerlo. En este momento le quiero dar las gracias a la doctora Cruz y a la señorita Saren por su apoyo y por las palabras que nos dieron el día de hoy. Thank you, Dr. Cruz. Thank you, Ms. Saren, for those words you gave us today. Thanks for always showing that support and for coming out to these events. At this moment, I'd like to welcome Mr. Vincent Su, Assistive Technology Coordinator. He will be sharing some assistive technology tips and strategies for the home. En este momento, me gustaría dar la bienvenida al señor Vincent Su, es el coordinador de tecnología de asistencia. Él compartirá algunos consejos y estrategias de tecnología de asistencia para el hogar. Así que demos la bienvenida al señor Su. Help me welcome Mr. Su.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramiro Alvarez. I really appreciate it. Good morning to Dr. Cruz, esteemed member Susan Saren, my fellow administrative professionals, principals, and assistant principals throughout our school district, and more importantly, our parents, the mothers and fathers of the students of our school district. Thank you very much. My name is Vincent Su, the AT coordinator and occupational therapist for the Pendergast School District. It is a pleasure to be with you, to be able to share with you tips and tricks and strategies to help your students at home. Hola y buenos días, Dr. Cruz, estimados miembros de la Junta, señora Saren, y los colegios administrados del distrito de Pendergast, y más importante, los padres de los estudiantes de nuestro distrito. Gracias por entender. Me llamo Vicente Su, soy el coordinador de tecnológica asistencia y el terapista ocupacional de Pendergast. Es un placer ser invitado a este evento para enseñar estrategias para ayudar a sus niños a su casa. Gracias. So the first thing I would like to ask is, what is the most commonly used room in your home? I found these pictures online and I was like, hey, maybe in the future I'd love to live in one of these. ¿Cuál es la habitación más utilizada en su casa? Busca los retrografías en la internet y yo me gusto también. Pienso que, think about it for a little bit. And then if you think about it, the one that is the most used is our kitchen, based on research out there done internationally. De la research internacional de los países, la cocina es la cuarto más utilizada en los casas de más personas en el mundo. We think about what is assistive technology. So as humans, as people in our world, what do we use? What would we consider AT in the kitchen? So you have your blenders, you have your soup can openers. Of course, we all drink coffee, right? So we definitely need our coffee machines, espresso machines, your refrigerators, rice cookers, all your kitchen utensils to be able to eat when we are doing our, to be able to live and, have our meals at home. En su casa, los equipos para hacer el desayuno, almuerzo, el cena, en su casa para comiendo y beber café o té, es los tecnología asistencia en su casa. So then I will start to explain what is assistive technology. What is that? It's a term that we hear a lot. But here in the United States, federal law does divide that definition of AT into two components. So we have assistive technology devices and we have assistive technology services. So a device, it would be any item or piece of equipment or anything that you can buy or make on your own to help increase, maintain, or improve the functional capabilities of a child with a disability or even a child without a disability as well. So la ley federal divide la definición de tecnológica asistencia en dos partes. Un parte es el dispositivo de tecnológica asistencia y el segundo es el servicio de tecnológica asistencia también. Primero, un dispositivo es una cosa para comprar en la tienda de Walmart, Staples, Amazon.com para utilizar durante en la escuela o en su casa comercial o hacer solamente para modificado o personalizado que se utiliza para aumentar, mantener o mejorar las capacidades funcionales de un niño con una discapacidad o no discapacidad también. So the second part would be considered a service. So that's any service that would directly assist a child with a disability when we're selecting, choosing, and we would need to do an evaluation to be able to say what kind of device would best fit this child in order to help improve and maintain their capabilities in the school or even the home setting as well. We also look at repairing, training for the student, the families, the teachers, and all the educators on how to improve and help that child access their curriculum in the school setting as well. El segundo parte es el servicio de tecnología asistencia también. El término servicio de tecnología asistencia incluye cualquier servicio que ayude directamente a un niño con una discapacidad en la selección, adquisición y uso de un dispositivo de tecnología asistencia para mantenimiento, reparación de dos dispositivos también para la familia, los padres y los maestros en la escuela también. So students and children at home need AT to be able to access all of these different areas. This is a wonderful visual. So we use AT in our daily lives to take notes, to be able to study when we're at home, to do research, right? We're all researching right now on Amazon to do Christmas shopping, right? So that's considered research. Writing or organizing and maintaining our tasks at home as well. Dictation, so speech to text. I know many of my colleagues and parents as well use speech to text when it is a much more easier way to get writing done as well. Being able to go online, being able to communicate. Communication is a very important skill that we all need to do both at home and at school as well. Reading, hearing, and being able to manage our time. These are really important things that AT or assistive technology helps all of our students access in school and at home and in the community as well. Tecnología asistencia es muy importante por todos los niños para más cosas, para mapas mentales, lluvia de ideas, para estudiar, pero herramientas de investigación, para escribir, oído, visión, para dictado cuando usted usando el computador o un teléfono para escribir, no es usando una lápiz para escribir también. So todas las cosas AT que ayudan mucho. So now we move into the three different types of low-tech AT. So AT would be divided into three different areas. Low-tech, so there's no batteries, there's no there's nothing to plug in, just very simple tools that are easy to use, such as highlighters, such as color visual overlays to help reading, especially those children with dyslexia, for example. I have a variety of pencil grips right in my hand that we have a picture of that help students be able to hold on to their pencils a lot more easily when they have fine motor issues. We have a Slamboard that helps students raise that writing service to make that writing a lot more easier. We use lots of those sticky notes. We take for granted how much they help us when we're doing our daily tasks. We have adaptive writing paper for those kiddos with those visual motor or fine motor delays to be able to engage in the handwriting tasks a lot more easier as well. So these would be considered low-tech assistive technology. Aquí tenía los cosas de tecnológica asistencia, tecnología baja, low-tech. Hay muchas cosas, incluye tira de oraciones, cubrir de los colores, bolígrafos, resaltadores para ayudar durante escribir, agarra de lápiz para los estudiantes que tenían dificultad cuando usando los lápices durante escribir en la clase también. Horario visual para los estudiantes es tan difícil para las actividades durante el día, de la mañana hasta la tarde también. Sello de nombre para los estudiantes que tenían dificultad para escribir su nombre a un papel, un tablero inclinado para inclinar el mesa para escribir a un papel también, y el papel de escribir adaptado para ayudar a estudiantes durante escribir también. Then we go into mid-tech assistive technology or moderate tech. So this does start to include things like batteries. We're starting to get more and more technical with what we're using to be able to help students, such as talking dictionaries. We have cause and effect toys that help students be able to make choices. So these will be kids with more significant physical and cognitive disabilities as well. We have Bookshare, which is a wonderful audiobook platform that allows children to listen to reading, especially children with reading difficulties or children with dyslexia as well, to help them, aid in that comprehension of reading as well. We also have adaptive keyboards that help students engage in the keyboarding process. Just think about all the computers that we use in our daily lives. Some students have difficulty using regular computers, so adaptive keyboards really play a key role in helping those students as well. So in this area, aquí es tecnológica asistencia tecnológica media, incluyendo las cosas, incluyen calculadores para lápiz para ayudar durante matemáticas. Teclado adaptado para los estudiantes que tenían dificultad 40 usando una computadora para escribir también. Una pluma de lectura de dislexia ayudan los estudiantes cuando leer durante la clase. Juguetes de causa y efecto ayudan los estudiantes durante atender las actividades en la clase. Comunicación aumentativa alternativa ayudan los estudiantes cuando comunicación con la maestra y los otros estudiantes también. Computadora de discapacidad visual y los sillas de ruedas adaptadas también. And so that does go into my high-tech assistive technology, which will include iPads, different forms of alternative augmentative communication as well, more high-tech types of adaptive seating to help students with more physical challenges that impact their ability to engage in everyday activities. And you have different apps and software programs that help students. And these would require an extensive power source, where you're plugging things in, and this will require more training as well. Aquí está los tecnología asistencia alta para usando una battery source. Mr. Alvarez, how would you say a power source that we would need to plug these items in? If you might help them, please.
Power source sería como una fuente de poder de. I totally went blank too. So but yeah, como una fuente de poder para agarrar energía.
Okay, gracias. So that's the high-tech assistive technology as well. So I'm here today to show you guys some tips and tricks for the home. And what is the biggest struggle most parents have at home? That'll be homework. Oh, like all these little memes here. When the teacher gives you new homework, oh boy, so Students do struggle, but how can we help these students be able to engage in homework in a much more easier way? That's what I'm here for today. Ahora yo dar los consejos y trucos para la casa, que es la actividad en la casa, es muy un problema para los padres, madres y padres, cuando el tarde, durante, después de arriba en su casa, los niños se dicen, ay, Dios mío, la tarea, ay, no. So, yo hoy para dar los consejos y trucos para ayudar ustedes a asistencia a sus hijos en su casa durante la tarea. So the first item will be pencil cushions or cojines de lápices. So these are predominantly used for students who have hand fatigue during extended writing activities. Se utilizada los cojines de lápiz para los estudiantes que tienen fatiga en las manos durante actividades prolongadas de escritura. You can readily purchase these on Amazon, like we all do, and in most big box commercial stores, your Target, Staples, Walmarts. And so a cushion is different than a grip. So a pencil grip is what we have here. Pencil grips, they are more for students with significant fine motor issues, where they show you exactly where to hold on to the pencil when they do writing. However, with the pencil cushion, it is not a grip. It's basically allowing you to have a more softer surface to write on to decrease that hand fatigue. Something you can easily do is take rubber bands, like I have done with this pencil, and put them on the tip of the pencil, and that would easily create a very, very free and low-cost way to do it. However, these cushions you can easily purchase at a very low cost on these stores, at these locations as well. Es posible, es importante para una cosa, este es una gripe, una agarra para los estudiantes es difícil para usar las manos para gripe la lápiz, pero una cojina es diferente de una agarre. Es una cushion o cojine es una cosa para ayudar a los estudiantes que tenían fatiga. Y una cosa muy libre es usando rubber bands para poner a la lápiz, para usando es una cojina para su lápiz para su niño también. So the second one that we're going to discuss is I have to get my homework done. Oh no, tengo que hacer mi tarea. Ay, Dios mío. So one thing that you can easily do when you have homework at home, say you have a worksheet, is you're simply taking the worksheet like I have in my pictures, and you're putting it inside a simple manila folder that you basically draw two lines horizontally, and you're cutting them on these two lines to be able to create flaps. So what you're doing is you're simply taking the sheet that you have for the homework, and you're putting it inside a manila folder so that if students have a hard time paying attention or they're distracted or they have a hard time getting their work done, all you do, like in my second photo here, is you're going to open the first flap and you're going to get the first couple of questions, first 3 questions done. Great. After they're done, you go take a little break, you come back, get a drink of water, and then you come back, you close the first half, then you do the second half right over here. You get the next 3 problems done. Then they go and take a walk, play some ball, play a video game for 5-10 minutes, come back, and you do the last section. And then boom, you're all done with your homework. So es una estrategia para completar la tarea en su casa usando una file folder. Señor Alvarez, ayúdame. ¿Cómo se dice file folder en inglés, por favor?
Puede ser como un folder. It's the same thing.
Folder, okay, una folder, got you. So, usando una folder y escribe 2 líneas horizontales y corte a la línea para dividir el página en 3 partes. Poner la papel de la tarea entre en la folder y cerrado y abrir el cuarto primero para completar 3 problemas de la tarea y cerrado. Tomo una descansa para beber, jugando, okay, regresar y completar el segundo parte, okay, cuando después de completar, cerrado, descansa, regresar y completar el 3 partes y voilà, completar con la tarea. Es una estrategia muy fácil para usando en su casa también. Okay, so the next item will be a whiteboard or homework checklist, something very simple that you can do in the home setting. All of us, you can easily go to your dollar store, and the dollar store is, one of the most favorite places for most teachers, therapists, and I'm sure parents as well. You simply get a whiteboard, you have a checklist of the things you need to do for homework, and they have them all done. Sometimes having it visually is something that is really important for students to see and your child to see. So this way, it gives you a good way to have the child understand what comes first, what comes next, and when they're all done, they know when it's all done. So una muy simple estrategia es usando una whiteboard. Es muy fácil para comprar una tienda de dolor. Es fácil para escribir las actividades de la tarea a una whiteboard y cuando termine con una actividad, check, y asistencia a su niño a completar su tarea también. La estrategia 4 es voice typing. Voice typing, sorry, do English first, I forgot. So voice typing is a phenomenal way for us to be able to engage in the writing process by simply using our voice. And we all use this to some extent every single day in our lives with our smartphones, basically speaking into our phone and having the phone or computer write in sentences. So if you're using here we have I believe it is a iPad, or this is actually a Windows-based computer. So with the Windows-based computers, what you're going to do is you're going to go to a Google Doc if you have the Google Suites. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into Tools and then Voice Typing, and it should come up on the right over here with the microphone. When you have yourself into a Google Doc, all you would do is click on that microphone, say your sentence, allow the computer to write that sentence for you, and then you're going to click on the microphone to stop it, and then do your corrections or your editing to make sure that the sentence is right. Ahora yo explico voice typing o escritura por voz, que dictado a texto, usando su voz a escribir a una computadora o un teléfono también. Es para una computadora para Windows, para abrir una Google Doc y clic a Tools y clic a Voice Typing. Cuando abrir una ventana a una micrófono y clic a su micrófono, después del micrófono, abrir a su computadora o su teléfono y el computadora se escribir la oración para usted. Después, terminé el micrófono aquí y correctamente su oración para usted. Es muy simple y fácil para sus niños a escribir usando un computador para escribir durante la tarea también. So this would be for a iPad device. So if you have an Apple device, it will be the same way as well. You will look for the microphone icon here, click on that, and you would do your speech recognition the same way as well. Aquí es para una computadora de Apple, so iPad o una MacBook también, buscando el retrografía de microphone, y es lo mismo aquí también. The last thing would be rewordify.com. So this is a strategy for those that have students that have reading difficulties. And so if you have a child at home that has a reading challenge, sometimes it is they don't understand a lot of the more complicated vocabulary and the structures of words and sentences. So rewordify is something that is going to help those students understand what those words really, really mean. Here it says, you keep using that word. Usted sigue usando esa palabra. I don't think you know what that means. No creo que sepas lo que significa. So ahora yo explico una técnica usando rewordify.com. And what Rewordify is basically, it's a website that simplifies difficult words and vocabulary in text that you find online. Simplifica palabras, vocabulario difíciles en textos que se encuentran en línea. It is a website that can be used on any web browser or any device. sitio web que se puede utilizar en cualquier navegador web en cualquier dispositivo. It differentiates parts of speech, so your nouns, your pronouns, your verbs, predicates, to help that student understand what they're seeing in the written text. Diferencia partes del habla, es decir, sustantivos, pronombres, verbos, para ayudar en la comprensión del texto escrito, difícil para su estudiante. There's lots of other great features to help that student learn that typical passage. Muchas otras funciones excelentes para ayudar durante escribir también. And if you note on the left, this is basically what you see when you first open up the website. You'll copy and paste the passage into the website. And when you click it on the second screen, it highlights all of those difficult words and gives you a more easier word for the child to understand. What you can also do, there's a feature that will color code all the parts of speech and then allow that child to understand what the nouns and verbs and parts of speech are to aid in that reading comprehension as well. So aquí en la primera ventana es el rewordify.com en su navegador. Copié el pasaje en este espacio. Cuando clic Rewordify Text, los vocabulario difícil que traducir a las palabras muy fácil para su niño que entender también. Y el tres ventana, este rewordify.com se puede usando las partes de la oración para su niño que entender más fácil. In that instance, any questions, comments, or any questions that have come up, please email me at vcu@psd92.org. I thank everyone for your time and consideration. Usted tenía preguntas o comentarios, por favor, enviar un correo electrónico a vcu@psd.org, psd92.org. Muchas gracias por su tiempo y para su consideración. Es un placer para atender este evento. Thank you very, very much, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Su, for that great presentation. I found a lot of tips that I could personally use, so I appreciate it. Not just with my kids, but even with my day-to-day writing assignments.
Awesome.
Here at work.
Very
so
cool.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias, señor Su, por esa gran presentación. Le digo a Mr. Su que encontré mucha de esa información que me puede ayudar no solamente con mis hijos, pero al igual con mi trabajo aquí que hago aquí para el distrito. Así que muchas gracias. At this moment, I'd like to welcome Mr. Larry Jones. He's a school counselor at Sonora Sky. He will also be sharing a wonderful presentation with us this morning. En este momento también me gustaría dar la bienvenida al señor Larry Jones. Él es el consejero del distrito, de la escuela Sonora Sky. Él también compartirá una maravillosa presentación con nosotros esta mañana, así que demos la bienvenida al señor Jones. Help me welcome Mr. Jones.
I speak one language, that's English, and I sometimes have problems with that. So Vince is hard to follow as a presenter. Let me just say that right now.
Yes, yo hablo solamente un idioma, así que es un poco difícil seguir después del señor Su, pero voy a hacer todo lo posible de hacer buen trabajo.
I'm not sure we'll have to draw straws, play tic-tac-toe or checkers, but I'm definitely lobbying to go before him next time.
Yo creo que vamos a tener que jugar unos juegos o algo entretenido el día de hoy para hacer mi presentación después del señor Su, pero para la próxima definitivamente voy a ser el primero para no tener que hacerlo después del señor Su.
So good morning, everyone. Good morning to our governing board member, Ms. Sarin, Dr. Cruz. I saw Ms. Parker, I believe, log on. I want to say good morning to the principals, to the parents, and to all of the other participating members this morning. As introduced earlier, my name is Mr. Jones. I am the school counselor at Sonora Sky Elementary, and I'm going to be speaking to you this morning, in my opinion, about the association between community and mental health.
Muy buenos días a todos el día de hoy. Buenos días a la doctora Cruz, a la señorita Sharon, a todos los miembros aquí del distrito Pendergast y a ustedes también como padres. Muy buenos días. Yo soy el señor Jones, el consejero escolar de la escuela North Sky. Les voy a hablar esta mañana sobre la asociación entre la comunidad y la salud mental.
So whether we're talking about our current global pandemic or current day-to-day life stressors, the fact remains we have shared experiences and we're all in this together.
Ya sea que se refiera a nuestra pandemia global actual o a los factores estresantes de la vida cotidiana, el hecho que hemos compartido experiencias, estamos todos juntos en estos.
Just like we're connected by our community, your mind and body are connected as well.
Al igual que estamos conectados por nuestra comunidad, su mente y cuerpo también están conectados.
Everyone knows or has an idea of what physical health refers to, but mental health refers to your social, emotional, and psychological well-being.
Todos entendemos a qué se refiere la salud física, pero también la salud mental se refiere a su bienestar social, emocional y al igual psicológico.
Mental health affects how you feel day to day. It affects your relationships. Mental health affects your success.
La salud mental afecta cómo te sientes día a día. La salud mental afecta tus relaciones. Al igual, la salud mental afecta tu éxito.
Cognitive behavioral therapy approach teaches us that our thoughts have a direct correlation with how we feel. And our thoughts and feelings have a direct correlation with our actions and behaviors.
La terapia cognitivo-conductual, TCC, nos enseña que nuestros pensamientos tienen una correlación directa con nuestros sentimientos. Nuestros sentimientos tienen una correlación directa con nuestras acciones también y comportamientos y al igual viceversa.
So that said, positive thoughts influence positive feelings, and positive feelings influence positive actions and behaviors.
Los comportamientos positivos influencian a los sentimientos positivos, al igual, como dijo él, viceversa.
Equally, negative thoughts are going to influence negative feelings and negative actions and behaviors.
Nuestros pensamientos negativos también tendrán influencia a nuestros sentimientos negativos y nuestros comportamientos también.
While your mental health can be impacted by things that you can't control, there is always a choice. You can't control what other people do or say, but you can control your thoughts and your words, your actions, and your responses. Understand that we all go through times when we're not feeling our best, and know that those times are temporary and don't last.
No puedes controlar lo que otras personas hacen o dicen, pero sí puedes controlar tus pensamientos. Puedes controlar tus palabras, tus acciones, tus respuestas. También quiero que sepa que comprendan que todos pasamos por momentos en los que no nos sentimos lo mejor posible, pero solo sepa que estos momentos no serán para siempre.
Like the fellowship of community, as humans, we experience the same emotions, and that's normal, of course. Just like the feeling of happy, we've all felt some level of stress, anxiety, grief, and for some of us, even depression.
Al igual que el compañerismo de comunidad, todos hemos experimentado las mismas emociones. Al igual que felicidad, todos hemos sentido estrés en alguna ocasión, ansiedad, quizás dolor, y algunos de nosotros también la depresión.
Which is why taking care of our mental health is equally as important as taking care of our physical health.
Es por eso que cuidar nuestra salud mental es tan importante como cuidar nuestra salud física.
And when you're having those negative emotions like stress and anxiety and grief and depression, when those emotions start to feel overwhelming and interfere with your day-to-day activities, I encourage you to develop healthy ways of dealing with those challenges.
Y cuando tenga estas emociones negativas, como el estrés, la ansiedad, el dolor o la depresión, le animo yo a que desarrolle formas saludables de afrontar sus desafíos.
Talk with someone that you trust about your problems, significant others, family members, friends, counselors, or therapists in your local community. And although there are a million strategies on the internet that you can look up, I advise you to just do whatever you already enjoy that you know will bring you back to your happy place again.
Los animo yo a que hablen con alguien en quien confíen sobre sus problemas. Hablen con un consejero, hablen con un familiar, alguien en quien puedan confiar. Y aunque haya 1000 formas de hacerlo, haz lo que disfrutes y que sepas que te llevará de nuevo a ese lugar feliz.
When it's all said and done, I'd like you to remember these two things. For yourself, you can do difficult things because you've done difficult things before. And you are resilient because you've overcome things before and you're still here. For other people, you don't always know their story. It could be a lot like your own. So I would encourage you to have empathy for others.
Y cuando todo esté dicho y hecho, quiero que recuerden que por ti mismo, tú puedes hacer cosas difíciles y que eres resistente porque has superado cosas antes en el pasado y que todavía estás aquí, todavía estás presente para otras personas. Yo les animo a que tengan empatía por los demás. No siempre conocen la historia de otros. No podría parecer quizá mucho a nuestra historia.
And I'd like to close with these next two quotes. Linda Poindexter said, "One small crack does not mean that you're broken. It means that you were put to the test and you didn't fall apart."
Me gustaría concluir con dos frases muy conocidas. La famosa escritora Linda Poindexter dijo una vez, una pequeña grieta no significa que estás roto, significa que te pusieron a prueba y no te derrumbaste.
And one of my all-time favorites, Maya Angelou says, "I've learned that people will forget what you've said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel."
Y una de mis preferidas es de Maya Angelou. Ella dijo una vez, he aprendido que la gente olvidará lo que dijiste, la gente olvidará lo que hiciste, pero la gente nunca olvidará cómo les hiciste sentir.
That concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer those. If not, happy holidays and thank you for your time.
Mr. Jones, thank you so much. Dice el señor Jones, eso concluye mi presentación. Si tienen algunas preguntas, él puede responder a esos pronto. Thank you, Mr. Jones, for that excellent presentation. I think those were all great tips, great advice that you've given us. Gracias, señor Jones, por esa gran presentación. Son buenos tips, buenas estrategias que nos ha presentado el día de hoy. We truly appreciate all that great information. If anyone has questions for either Mr. Jones or Mr. Su, please feel free to stick around at the end of this meeting. We ask that if they can both stick around for just a little bit and answer any questions that anyone may have. Gracias una vez más al señor Jones por esa presentación. Si alguien tiene preguntas para el señor Jones o el señor Su, no duden en quedarse al final de esta reunión. Le hemos pedido a ambos que se queden un rato al final para responder cualquier pregunta que puedan tener. At this moment, we're getting ready to wrap up this event. Before we wrap up today's event, we'd like to share a few announcements. Estamos pronto ya cerca de concluir el evento del día de hoy, pero antes de concluir el evento de hoy, nos gustaría compartir algunos anuncios. We want to highlight our Pendergast Family Resource Center. We encourage all of you to just take advantage of all the resources that they provide. They offer information referral services. They offer parent education and even parent and child activities for ages 0 to 5. So feel free to contact them for more information. Queremos también promover el Centro de Recursos Familiares de Pendergast. Animamos a todos que aprovechen de los servicios que ellos brindan a la comunidad. Ellos ofrecen servicios de referencia, de información, también educación para padres e incluso actividades para padres e hijos de edades 0 a 5 años de edad. No duden en contactarlos si tiene alguna pregunta o necesita más información. We also want to let everyone know that starting on January 3rd, right after winter break, registration will be open for all incoming kindergartners. We ask that you take advantage of this early registration and enroll your child. If you have a kindergartner for next school year, you can register your child at the Pendergast Learning Center. There are several perks for those who enroll early. And to learn more about kindergarten registration, please feel free to contact them. Call them at 623-772-2300. So that's 772-2300. También queremos que todos sepan que a partir del 3 de enero, justo después de las vacaciones de invierno, las inscripciones estarán abiertas para todos los estudiantes de kinder del próximo año escolar. Le pedimos que aprovechen el registro temprano e inscriban a sus hijos. Puede registrar a su hijo en el Centro de Aprendizaje de Pendergast. Hay varios beneficios para aquellos que se inscriban temprano. Y para obtener más información, por favor, llame al departamento de registración. El número de teléfono de ellos es 623-772-2300. So please feel free to contact them if you have any questions about registration. No duden llamarlos si tienen preguntas de registración. We also want to share a tax credit announcement. You can support your local schools and receive a dollar-for-dollar state tax credit. It's fast, it's super easy, and you can learn how to do this on our district website. También queremos compartir un anuncio de crédito fiscal. Puede apoyar a sus escuelas locales y recibir un crédito fiscal estatal de dólar por dólar. Es rápido, es muy fácil y puede aprender cómo hacerlo visitando nuestro sitio web. We also want to encourage you to stay connected with us. We know the holidays are around the corner, but we can still stay connected. También queremos animarlos a que se mantengan en contacto con nosotros. Sabemos que los días festivos están a la vuelta de la esquina, pero por favor, manténganse en contacto con nosotros. Remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and our district website. Recuerde de darnos un like en Facebook, síganos en Twitter, en Instagram y nuestro sitio web. And lastly, we want to remind you of our upcoming Lunch and Learn. Our next Lunch and Learn will take place on Thursday, January 13th. This will be an in-person event. Nuestro próximo almuerzo, queremos recordarles que será el próximo mes, en enero, el 13 de enero, es un jueves. Este evento se llevará a cabo en persona. And just to wrap it up, we want to thank you all so much for joining us this morning. Queremos darle las gracias a todos por acompañarnos esta mañana. Gracias por tomar tiempo de su día por acompañarnos. Y recuerde, si tiene usted alguna pregunta, por favor, quédese un ratito más aquí. El señor Sue, el señor Jones puede responder esas preguntas. Again, we want to thank you for joining us, for taking time out of your busy days to be with us, to learn together. And again, if you have any questions for Mr. Jones or Mr. Sue, please stick around. They would love to chat with you and answer any questions that you may have. And again, thanks so much for joining us. We hope you have a great day. Una vez más, muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Nos vemos el próximo mes. See you next month.